I will say this, though. This argument comes up a lot generally about like, oh, he's just giving stuff away to people. Like, how are we going to pay for it? The military budget this year is almost $700 billion.
Is it really?
Yes. If you cut the military budget in half, let's say, which is reasonable by any stretch of the imagination, people think that if you cut our military budget in half, we still have the biggest military in the world by like 2 or 3 times the closest one. We'd be fine. That's $350 billion right there. You could pay to send everybody in this country that wants to go to college for free. Right there by cutting the military budget in half. Also, if you're going to take, if Bernie's going to take office, he's going to look through a lot of where we're spending money. We're not going to be spending money on overseas wars. Bernie's going to force corporations to actually pay their fair share of taxes. They're only paying an effective tax rate of 14%, which is what we're going to get into in a second. If you actually make them pay that 35%, you've raised $100 more billion. So then you have $400 billion extra dollars that you get to spend on the citizenry of the country instead of going into the coffers of these offshore accounts.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is the other thing. This shit doesn't have to be done year to year. That's the other problem. Bernie's saying to fix the infrastructure of this country, it's $1 trillion over 10 years. That's $100 billion a year. That's doable. It's all about prioritizing. We can choose to spend a lot of money building up Iraq, I guess, or Afghanistan or whatever that's we're pouring our money into, or all these military bases around the world. Or if we really are the greatest country on earth and that it's a fucking blessing from Christ to be in this country, then how about the citizens of the United States get a base level of security, food, housing, and health insurance? How about that? That's where we could just redirect the money because there's only X amount of money in the world. We talked about it last week, 95 trillion or whatever. Same thing applies here. There's only X amount of money in this country. Let's spend it on things that people in this country actually need as opposed to, trying to world build and do all this stuff around the globe. So that's my generic answer. But again, go to the Bernie page for sure. And I encourage anybody to do this. Go to that Bernie page, see how he says he's going to pay for the proposals. And then based on those proposals, go look at articles from the left, from the right, and see, try to get a consensus. And then you can determine whether he's actually going to be able to pay for those things. But fucking people, this is the thing, Kyle, let me tell you this. People that are annoying like that just come up to you, how's he going to pay for it? I don't know, you tell me. You tell me, because I did the research. I went to his website, I looked at it, and I cross-referenced with some other articles. Don't come at me and ask me an open-ended question. I don't have to explain it. And I don't care how he's going to pay for it. I want him to pay for it, and he'll figure it out. It's not my job to worry about it. Fuck you. No.
Wow.